So today we're doing fraction of problems and part 2. So at first I'm going to review how we did this with yesterday's lesson. So remember, I'm going to take 8 and I'm going to divide. 8 divided by 2 is 4. And then I'm going to multiply times my numerator. So 4 times 1, that equals 4. So if I want 1/2 of 8, my answer is going to be 4. For the next problem, I have 1/3 of 12. So again, taking 12 and dividing that into 3 groups. So 12 divided by 3, that equals 4. And then how many groups of 4 do I want? Just 1, so 4 times 1, that also equals 4. So just reminding us how we did some of those problems previously. All right, so we're going to start with some of these, and they're going to look a little different than yesterday. So I want 1/2 of 9. When I go to do my division first, 9 divided by 2, that's not an even number when I get my quotient, so my answer. So I'm going to do another way. So, for example, I want 1/2 of 9. I'm going to draw 2 circles just to show you how this ends up working here. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So right now I have 4 in each, but I have 1 left over. So what I'm going to do is take that 1 left over, this is my 1 left over, and I'm going to divide that in half. So 1/2 up here and 1/2 down here. It's my leftover x. So how many if I want one of these? So if I circle in here, if I want one circle and one part of that x, my answer is going to equal 4 x's and 1/2 left over. So that's 1/2 of 9. I'm going to show you now another way to do this. So you could always draw a picture. 1/5 of 2. So what I'm going to do is put my 2 over 1. So that whenever you have a whole number and you want to turn it into a fraction, you put it over 1 and it still equal the same thing. 2 divided by 1 is still equal to 2. Now what I'm going to tell you that of, whenever you see of in a math problem, that means to multiply. So I'm going to go ahead and put multiply in here, and then I'm going to multiply across. 1 times 2, that equals 2. 1 times 5, that equals 5. And so my answer equals 2/5. I'll show you again down here. When I go to do this problem, I can't do 4 divided by 6. That doesn't come out evenly. So I'm going to take my whole number and I'm going to put it over 1. I'm going to change my of to multiply because that's what it means. And I'm going to multiply across here. So 1 times 4, that equals 4. 6 times 1, that equals 6. So my answer is 4/6. All right, the next one, 1/10 of 9. Again, I can't do 9 divided by 10. That is not a whole number, so I'm going to take my of, turn it into multiply, put my whole number over 1, and now I can multiply across. All right, so first, 1 times 9, that equals 9. 10 times 1, that equals 10. And so my answer is 9/10. What is 1/10 of 9? 9/10. All right, 2/3 of 30. So I'm going to always try to see if I can do this. 30 divided by 3, and I can. That will come out evenly. 30 divided by 3, that equals 10. Don't forget to multiply. How many groups of 10 do I want? 2. So 10 times 2, that equals 20. If we wanted to try the other way too, just so you can see that it still works, 2/3, change it into multiplication, take my 30, put it over 1. If I were to multiply this, 2 times 30, that equals 60. And then 3 times 1, that equals 3. Then I have this problem, 60 divided by 3, which is improper, and you know I can go in and change that. 60 divided by 3, 3 goes into 6. 2 times, subtract 0, bring down my next number. 3 goes into 0, 0 times. And as I subtract, my answer is still the same. You will still get 20. Just showing you again. And finally, the last example that we're going to do, I'm going to try to do this first. Can I do 50 divided by 5? Yep, that works. When I take 50 and I separate it into 5 groups, I have 10 in each group. Now I'm going to multiply. How many groups do I want? How many 10s do I want? 2. So 10 times 2, that equals 20. And again, I'm going to show you 2/5. Change my of to multiply. Put my 50 over 1. And now I'm going to multiply across like we were doing with some of our other problems. 2 times 50 equals 100. 5 times 1 equals 5. So my answer here is 100/5, but that's improper, so I'm going to do 100 divided by 5. And 5 can go into 10 2 times. 2 times 5 is 10. When I subtract, bring down my 0 here. 5 goes into 0, 0 times. So I will still get, again, the same answer. And here is your lesson practice.